Hey, how's it going? It's Keith Townsend from the CTOadvisor.com, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, VMworld 2017. Wow, you know what? VMworld is a lot of work. 23,000 people, and it feels like I'm talking to like each and every one of them. It has been a great show so far, not necessarily just because of the announcements. One of the great draws of VMworld 2017 is all about people, hallway conversations, understanding how these technologies that are announced on stage that we read about, how they're getting implemented and solving real business problems. So, really interesting set of announcements yesterday from VMworld. Nothing really surprising. VMware formed a new cloud business unit. They put the VMware on AWS service inside of that business unit. I think that's by far the thing that's really is powering the wins of this conference, which is their strategy with AWS. We're not going to talk about that strategy directly. I think one of the things that I tweeted out yesterday is probably one of the things I'm getting the most. And I've heard this repeatedly from either VMware's CTOs, Chris Wolf, from all of the BU leaders, people who are on the ground talking to executives and CIOs within Fortune 500s, Fortune 1000s, and even small and medium-sized businesses. And the truth of the matter is that VMware moves at the speed of the CIO. They are answering the call that their customers are asking. The bell that their customers are ringing, VMware is answering that. VMware on AWS is an example of that. When it came out last year, I kind of scratched my head, you know what, this private data center inside of AWS, what business challenge does this solve? And I think the challenge is that I've looked at the solution from the perspective of the application developer, the average user that would take their credit card, swipe it in AWS and build cloud native applications that the enterprise hasn't been able to do for them as of yet. However, VMware isn't really targeting that audience. VMware has doubled down on vSphere, the software-defined data center, hosting traditional apps. That's what it does best. And it's saying, you know what, we're going to take that strategy. We tried to do it with vCloud Air. Didn't work out too well for us. AWS does this much better than we do. We'll go ahead and put our software-defined data center inside of AWS and speak to that CIO, speak to that VP of IT infrastructure, and solve some pain points for them. What are the pain points? Well, those CIOs still need a cloud strategy, and believe it or not, AWS or VMware on AWS provides an easy on-ramp to cloud. Plain and simple, if they put workloads in VMware inside of AWS, you can check off the cloud box. Now, whether or not that brings business agility or not, you know what, that's debatable. I think there's some instances where you can say, well, you've outsourced infrastructure and the need to build vSphere and manage vSphere, and that by itself adds agility. But moving to the point where developers are now saying that they have an API into the data center and they're able to build cloud native applications that are supported by their enterprise IT, didn't get that out of today's announcements. But I am excited to host theCUBE today, where I'll be talking to VMware executives and customers and partners and digging deep and finding out what are the conversations happening on the ground. So stay tuned to The Daily Dose, hashtag Daily Dose on Twitter, LinkedIn. Join the conversation. If there's a question you want me to ask to HPE, VMware, or any of the VMware's customers I'll be interviewing over the next couple of days, hit me up on the Twitter or LinkedIn. Of course, you can find the blog, thectoadvisor.com, and you can find the podcast there as well. You can subscribe to that and all this great content there. Talk to you guys next Daily Dose.